If a man came into your life, wouldn't you want to compromise?
Stupid. A man comes into my life and I have to compromise? You must think about that one again. A man comes into my life and you have to compromise for what? For what? For what?
FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Courtney.
This is the Indu Podcast. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. This is episode number 70. This is week number whatever it is. I don't know why I keep counting weeks, but it is what it is. And
it is what it is.
I'm going to first say, Courtney, how are you? But I know you're doing well. But before we get into that, I already know you're doing well because you have a big announcement. I don't know if you want to talk about it here. Do you want to talk about it here?
We can. Yeah, we can talk about it here. It's a safe space.
Okay, cool. Okay, we'll come back to that. But we have a very special guest. She lives up to her Twitter handle with publications to prove and Twitter threads to boot. And have you heard of the Kent test? You will. A bad by Banff. Look it up because it's a family show. I'm not going to say what that acronym is, but a bad by Banff, BMF, blurred with my lines to spare. We have Clarkeisha Kent with us.
Hello.
Hey, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And she's a singer too. How are you, Clarkeisha?
Oh, I'm good, but I am not a singer.
Well, it's fine. It's so great to see you. Imagine if we did the whole show that way, just singing.
I would be okay with that.
Okay. You would. I mean, you had me listening to musicals this morning, so there's that.
Yes, I did. I have no shame in that either.
So yeah, Clarkeisha, we know who you are, but let's pretend our listeners have no idea who you are. Who are you?
Okay, so I am what you would call a cultural critic. I know you're like, what the hell is that? So basically, I sit around all day. No, I don't do it. So basically, I live on the internet. That's what you should definitely know about me. And I kind of see, things that happen in pop culture or sometimes even politics. Sometimes I will wade into politics. I have enough energy. And, I kind of talk about these things from the perspective of, being Black, being female, and being queer. So that's really what I do. That's what I've done for like a couple years now. And, apparently some people like that. So, I've, amassed a following, almost by accident. I say by accident because I didn't mean to be doing this. It just kind of happened one day. And then from there, while I was doing that, it was a lot of, so that commentary can take place, like I said, on Twitter, Instagram, all these social media channels. But most of it does take the form of writing. Freelance writing actually happened by accident because the freelancing beast is you can burn out real easy. So I did not, again, I didn't plan on doing this thing. It just kind of happened, because, so that I think that's the summation. I am a cultural critic. And yeah.
Nice.
Well, I've been following you for a while, but maybe it was only officially for a couple months. But I've been seeing your stuff come up on Twitter for, I guess, maybe as long as you've been doing it. And I'm like, I really like, your voice and the things that you have to say. and you have a way of saying things much better, much more eloquently, and especially with the use of GIFs, and those are the GIF animations, of course, and using them much more better than before. It just, yes, I just, yeah. And I was like, I need to chat with her more and invite her to the Indubian world that we live in. And, so I'm so glad you came to join us and hang out with us for a little while.
Yay! Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. I do have an icebreaker question for you, which I did brief you.
All right.
I told you.
Okay. Yes, you did. You did.
Yes. So, imagine, if you will, Ben & Jerry's calls you up. It's like, hey, Tarkisha, we need a new flavor. What do you got for us? And can you name it too?
A new flavor. Oh crap.
I know the pressure's on.
I know.
I mean, the
It would
pressure's
have
on, but no pressure.
Right.
Yeah, I just ooh. I almost want to ask, does Ben and like Jerry's already have like a chicken waffles flavor, or do they not have
I
it?
don't believe that they do. So that would be a
See, if they don't, then that'd probably be what I do then.
okay.
I don't know how that would taste as ice cream, but I just have an obsession with like Southern food. So that'd be probably definitely my first go-to. You know, it's always cookies and cream, but since that obviously already exists, that'd probably be my.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, you can add to the cookies and cream, though. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know what I would add though. I feel like it's already like perfect the way it is.
True.
I don't want to fix nothing that's that's not broken.
Right. No, I feel you.
Now the only part
if I were to
that's a little
go ahead,
the chicken part, because I'm like, I'm trying to think of like anything that has milk and chicken together, and I can't really quite think of anything. I'm not knocking it, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want actual chunks of chicken in it. That'd be weird as hell.
Yeah.
But definitely like the more, the savory, if they get something that tastes savory-ish, like, I don't need chicken. That's weird. That is weird. I don't want that. I would not eat that. But like some like, because I'm basically in my head, I'm thinking salty and sweet, which is the only reason I would say that. So they can get something close. It doesn't have to be like chicken chunks in there, but something close, that reminds us of these flavors. I think I'd be okay with.
Because I've had fried ice cream before, and I think that's like fried toast
and that's
waffle pieces maybe, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I think I just had maybe just enough, like a couple spoonfuls. Like, yeah, I'm good. And I felt bad because I bought an entire carton and I didn't want any more after I was done with that. So, they'll work with you. They'll figure out the flavor profile, like your base ice cream. Will it be vanilla or will it be maple flavored? Since
oh, it probably would be maple flavored. I am obsessed with syrup.
There you go. So they got that part, and waffle pieces, that will be easy to do. They could basically be putting in fried waffles, and maybe that's all you need: fried waffle pieces and maple flavored ice cream.
Yes.
Maybe something with a crunch. Well, never mind. You got that, the waffle pieces. So, okay. So we have the chicken and waffles ice cream. Is that what you're going to name it? Or you got to have a fun Ben and Jerry's kind of name to it?
Yeah, you didn't sign up for that, did you?
It definitely should have some fun Ben Jerry's name, but I am somewhat of a narcissist, so I would also want to name it after myself. I don't know. I don't know. Someone will probably have to come up with some, Ben and Jerry's inspired name spinoff. But yeah, the temptation to name it after myself would be very strong, though. I just want to put that out there.
I mean, hey, it's yours, so I would say go for it. I'm trying to help you out here and try to think of something. Going with the Kent, but I probably have to write it down and come up with something.
Honestly, to keep it like short, I'd probably call it like Kent Crunch or something.
That works.
Ooh,
something like that.
I like that. That's pretty cool. No, that's pretty cool though. I like that.
I think you said you like that. You were breaking up a little bit in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so that's not good. Yes, I'm saying I like that. It's very catchy, and it works.
It does.
Yeah. Short and sweet. Yeah.
Right.
So that's Kent Crunch. Is that correct?
Yes, Kent Crunch and the crunch. Keep it all nice and alliteration and stuff. Probably spell the crunch with a K.
Oh, right.
Ooh, yeah, that's very Ben and Jerry's. Very Ben and Jerry's.
In my head, I'm kind of hearing Captain Kent Crunch, but
That'd be cool. Ben and Jerry's call me. I got some ideas for you. There's more from where that came from.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I will say, because you like cookies and cream, I don't know if you tried the Boom Chocolata with the cookie core.
Ooh, I have not tried that. I need to try that. It sounds good.
It might actually be life. But there's a basically take an Oreo cookie, take the cookie part of it, and make that into just like a log of cookies. Stick that right in the middle of ice cream. That's the core.
Oh wow!
Then there's cookie pieces.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you telling me about this.
Mm-hmm. I
don't know, man.
I tell quite a few people about it because I had it for a little while, and that's pretty much I had stocked all the time in the freezer. I've cut back since. I've been doing better. So, that's Boom Chocolata. Look for it in your grocer's aisle or your freezer aisle at your local grocers. There are a few other cookie cores that they have. They have a peanut butter cookie one, and then they have a cookie butter, which I haven't seen lately. Must not be selling as well, but yeah, just wanted to share that with you as a fellow cookies and cream lover myself. So go check that out and get back.
Yeah. Awesome.
That has changed your life. So switching gears back to Courtney, you are doing well. You have an announcement and you would like to share?
Yes, so things are going pretty good for me, which is nice because I kind of came off of a not so great spell, but I just closed on my first house.
Yay!
So I'm actually at my house right now, and if you hear me moving around and making noise, I'm trying to be as quiet as possible, but today is pre-moving day, so I am trying to do as much as I can before like clean and just do things like that before we move the big stuff. So it's good, it's fun. I'm tired already and we haven't even started, but I'm very excited and tired. Have I mentioned that I'm tired yet?
Not yet. I think you might want to add that in there. I'll add it in post that you're tired.
I'm pretty tired. But still add it in post because I'm tired. I'm just tired.
Hey Courtney,
I'm so excited.
Tired by any chance?
I'm a little tired, but I'm good. I'm a little tired though.
I'm hearing the newness of the house in the background. So
I know, and I keep like walking around, so.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably hearing the echoes because there's nothing or there's very little in here now. So,
right.
Yeah. So sorry, but that's why I sound a little bit more hollow than normal.
Well, at least now we understand what's going on. It's always something interesting on this show because there was one other time where we're recording and that's twice it's happened now where you drove away. And we had a guest who was in a car driving, so we're just catching people in their everyday lives, and we're just,
Well, you just and you deal with some very, interesting people who are on the go, so it's not a bad thing,
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to blow up Clarkeisha's spot or anything, but we're just giving a preemptive shout out to Keanu in case, is it a male or a female?
It's a female cat.
In case she jumps up and wants to make herself known to us. So shout out to Keanu, just in case. Chief has left the room. That is, of course, my Chihuahua. He is outside of the room. preemptively took him out just because he likes to make himself known and be like, hey, I want attention right now. So he's out, hopefully eating his kibbles. Hopefully, I don't know, but he's not here. But he's good. He's in good hands. I know people do care, and they're like, "Where is Chief? Why are you neglecting him? Where he doesn't what cuddles, and he gets his cuddles. Don't worry, he's good." Got all that off my chest. Oh yeah, I'm good too. I didn't say I'm doing well. Currently, there's supposed to be a snowstorm happening here. They're calling it for Easter. A play on nor'easter, but it's supposed to be the fourth snowstorm in like so many weeks, and it's March. Yes.
Jeez.
Also, there's this lovely meme going around of Killmonger saying, "Is this your spring?" And I totally feel him feel that, because it's supposed to be spring and it does not feel like it at all, and I'm upset by this. I'm ready to start wearing short pants. And no, not happening. But other than that, I think I'm good. Breathe has
Good.
the fact that we did talk about musicals earlier. I had listened to the soundtrack of Dear Evan Hansen, I believe it's called. That's what it's, right? Okay. And we'll be talking about Broadway stuff.
Yes.
I liked it. I have to listen to it a second time, reading the story, what it was actually about, because I was listening to the songs, like trying to put it in context. And now that I read the story, I'm like, oh, okay, that was way off what I thought was happening. So, but it was good. It was good. I'm glad it wasn't as long as Hamilton, which is still number one for me, but it was still good because there was a collaboration between Lin-Manuel Miranda and Ben Platt, I think his name is. Might be messing that up. I apologize. Yes. They
Ben Platt
mashed up two songs from both of their musicals and to a lovely song called Found/Tonight, and it's in support of the Parkland, Florida students who recently had a tragedy down there. So it's for them. So I was moved, touched me in the cockles of my heart. So it's good. The cockles of my heart, they were warmed.
Not the cockles of your heart.
They were burning. This. Do you recommend checking it out?
Good.
But now we will take a quick break, and when we return, we will come back with our Black History Fact, Sheboygan news, and some other shenanigans. So hold tight, and we shall return.
The Indie Podcast.
Hey there, do you like talking about your favorite comic book and characters? Or a TV series you love to binge? Or how Goku from Dragon Ball Z was trash, but it was still your gateway anime? But you're also interested in talking about different social issues and current events, like representation, Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement, or racism? Well then, you're in luck. I've got a podcast where we dive into all of that. It's called Speak On It. I'm your host, Nisha, a millennial that's just trying to live my black and nerdy life while also staying informed. So every episode, a guest and I will dive into a discussion that can cover everything from anime to activism and speak on it. You can head over to iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever else these RSS feeds go to subscribe, listen, and stay tuned. Talk to you soon.
And we are back on the Indie Podcast. Thank you so much. That was a lovely break, wasn't it?
It was a great break. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I'm more happy to be back right now. So there we are.
Clark, did you enjoy the break too? Did you like it?
I did. It was an awesome break.
Yes, indeed it was. All right. Now for our Black History fact.
Black History.
Black History.
Black History. Black History. Facts.
Today we will be learning about Lorraine Hansberry. Are either of you familiar with her?
Yes. I think.
I-
Yes. Pretty sure I know her. I should know her.
You probably do. She is a writer. And
yes.
I did not plan this.
Yes, I knew her. Okay, go for it.
I did not. I just want you both to know that knowing full well that you both are writers, I did not plan to feature a writer. Just worked out that way. But she is the first Black female author to have a play performed on Broadway.
Ooh.
Yes, that's right. That's what got my attention too. That play being A Raisin in the Sun. Familiar?
Yes,
of course.
That's how. Okay, go. Yes. I feel dumb because I should have put two and two together.
It's okay.
It's been a long week.
It has been. I mean, that's how I am when it comes to researching these people and like, oh wow, she did that, or that's what. Okay, I'll continue. First and foremost, she is a writer. She worked with W.E.B. Du Bois, who eventually I'm going to have to feature because he keeps coming up in a lot of these history facts that I do. She is a civil rights activist, wrote about the African struggle for liberation, including Ghana and Kenya, just to name a couple. She's a feminist and LGBT activist, believed to be a lesbian. She was married for a time. Died at the young age of 34 due to pancreatic cancer. Nina Simone's.
I know that.
Nina Simone's To Be Young, Gifted, and Black is about her, as they were close friends. PBS documentary, which came out this year, actually in January, American Masters, Sighted Eyes, Healing Heart, is all about her, and I will be checking that out. I literally just found out about that, so I'm going to be looking into that later to learn more about her. And I got inspired because she is featured in Blair Imani's upcoming book, Modern Her Story, Stories of Women and Non-Binary People Rewriting History. It will be in your bookstore October 6th of this year. You can pre-order it now at modernherstory.com. So go check that out. That was an unofficial plug for her book.
Yeah. Sweet. That's awesome.
It definitely is. And our dear friend and friend of the podcast, actually, no, she's an honorary Dubian because she's been on the podcast, Vilissa Thompson is in that book as well.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool, too. We know some famous people.
We do. So, do pre-order the book. I intend to as well. I really wished, and maybe actually I have to look into it. By the 75th episode, I want to do a giveaway. And I thought, hey, this book would be great to give away, but I don't know if I can do it if it's still in a pre-order mode. So might have to come up with something else. But hey, when it does come out, I will definitely do a giveaway to give away the book. So we'll figure that out in October. And that is, Lorraine Hansberry. Definitely look into her story. There's a lot more about her that I left out only because it's just so extensive. Even for her sadly short-lived life, she lived quite a life. A lot of writing, a lot of stuff I want to look into, and quite the person, quite a hero she is.
Well, I don't know too much about her, but except for the things that you just mentioned. But I know that she is a very influential Black woman, and I know that she did do so much, like you said, in her short life. And so I'm glad that she is still being honored. I'm glad that she's, I'm glad that she's being honored in such a way because she really is a pioneer, really is a pioneer. So yeah, it's
that
awesome.
she is.
I'll have to put that put the book on my calendar so that I can look out for it. That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. It does. There are many other honors that she has, Walk of Fame and memorials, theaters that are named after her. There's a lot of stuff. Like I said, there's just not enough to put in here. Do you have any thoughts, Clarkeisha, on her?
But yeah, I just like that again. Yeah, she did a lot in the years that we had her. I always like also listening to these Black History facts because like it's also a reminder that every these larger than life people, W.E. Du Bois, Nina Simone, Booker T. Washington, like people that we these larger than life figures, they also knew each other. Like they hung out, they talked crap about each other. It's always nice to remember that they were
people
in the same spheres. They were people,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just as always, I'm always bummed when I hear that people like this trailblazers they die young. Yeah. It tends to be the trend, mm-hmm. Especially with our ethnic group too. And it always again bums me out because it's like, oh, I want us to live a little bit longer, because we joke about the whole black don't crack thing. So I'm like, what's the point?
Right.
If we're clocking our lives too early, to enjoy it, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It is inevitable. I don't want to go down the morbid route right now.
Yeah, I know.
we definitely can. But we are leaving a legacy even as we speak, as we say these words and we remember our heroes and people that came before us, and kind of carrying on what they started. Even though this is a jokey, fun podcast, I still like to honor them and remember them. It's like, hey, I see what you did. I appreciate you, and I thank you.
Mm-hmm.
As we continue to move forward.
Agreed.
Yes. So now we will go into our Sheboygan news. Once I find that button. There it is.
Good morning, Sheboygan.
So, Courtney, I know that I told you in previous episodes about the Kohler company wanting to take part of different parts of the Sheboygan neighborhood. Not the neighborhood, but they want to take some other town a golf course. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently they got that deal, so the Kohler Golf Course is currently on hold before they continue to do any construction. I almost said destruction, because the Friends of Black River Forest, they are contacting the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources to say, hey, hold on a second. We want to challenge that permit because you want to knock down 50% of the trees of the 247 acres that they currently own. And they, want to keep the living. So, I suddenly now have interest in the story a bit more because I am for the trees. I am like the Lorax. Someone has to speak for them. So, I'm not short and fuzzy, but I still, I care for the trees. And if they had Tuffula Tufts, then I want them to stay too.
You're kind of fuzzy though, so I get the connection.
You're saying I'm fuzzy?
Yeah, you're kind of fuzzy, so I get the connection.
Would you consider me having a baby face? This came up.
I would, yes. Why?
Yeah, someone at work called me a kid, and I'm like, for all you know, I could be the same age as you are. We don't know each other that well, so I kind of asked one of my other coworkers, what is it about me? And then she said, well, you do kind of have a baby face. I'm like, really? So I'm just asking other people if they think that too. And I never considered myself to have a baby face, but yeah, I guess the more people I ask.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
People say you have a baby face too?
I get it all the time, and it's annoying, and I hate it, but I get it all the time.
Does that happen
all the time.
Keisha? Is that a thing you have to do with?
Oh yeah, no, and I have the nerve to also be like a 20-something-year-old person. So yeah, no, I've been getting that for like a while. So and I'm gonna keep getting it, and I'm just gonna accept it now, so that when I'm obviously like 82, it'll be a compliment at that point.
Oh. I guess that's a good.
Well, that's the caveat I get all the time is, oh, you're gonna love that when you're older, yada yada, and I'm like, but if you treat me like I'm a 12-year-old now, that's not a real compliment to me this moment. I don't like that.
True.
Hmm.
True.
Yeah, because I was used to people thinking that I was older than when I was, and that happened a lot when I was a teenager. Because I would always talk about things like, mostly when it came to like movies and music, because I'd be into like classic Motown and watching black and white movies, and like, wow, you're like an old man in like a kid's body. And like, well, actually, no. What does a teenager sound like? Well, thank you, or whatever. I don't know, whatever I sounded like as a teenager. But I would usually get that, but now I don't know. It's I'm being Benjamin Buttoned, I think. Maybe that's what's happening.
Is that what's happening?
Maybe, or maybe to other people. Not. I'm aging, but in other people's eyes, I'm maybe upwards, or maybe I'm 25. I don't know. Well, they said baby face, so maybe 5. I have no idea. And I can't grow out like a legit beard or anything either. Like, it's not in my genes, and I've tried.
No, your beard won't connect.
Won't connect.
Dang. I was talking about this with someone else last week. That's why I'm laughing. It's not a fight against you.
It's okay. Let it out.
At your expense. Oh man, you're like cracking up.
Wiping tears away.
I know.
Just.
I'm so sorry. It's not that funny.
Wow, like I'm impressed at just how much this is cracking you up. Like you are just still cracking up about it.
It's all good. I mean, I'll take one team. It's fine at my expense.
Oh, Sterling.
I'm over it now.
It's okay.
I've accepted it, and I stopped trying.
Not everybody has those genes, so it's okay.
Yeah, apparently.
We still love you though.
I thank you, because I can't because of my baby, I suppose. And what makes it worse is that my aunt just told me, like, no, it's not going to happen. Like, she just shut me down completely. So.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. I mean, for all I know, in her head, maybe she was laughing as hard as Clarkeisha just was. So, like.
Look, I was good, and now I'm laughing. I didn't stop. Sorry. So really, I'm laughing because I was watching, the Black Panther promo run like that. I could teach a whole class on that promotional run, but Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan went on this show. I don't remember what it's actually called, but so this show, and the link was posted online, and the host, she's like, she wants to play a game with them, and the game is like saying something to each other that's like super like nice, but also super sentimental or weird, to the point that you're supposed to make the other person laugh first with it, because it's weird, right? And obviously Chadwick is just full of giggles, so this dude was laughing before Michael even said what he was gonna say. But then he's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna be serious now, and started. And then Michael literally says, I like the way that your beard like actually connects. And I was laughing forever, because Michael was like, yeah, I was saying it to be nice, but also because it's true, but also because I'm jealous, because I can't, mine won't grow like that. Mine just refuses to connect. And I was just dead. I laughed for like ever.
So we're gonna have to find that because now I need to see it, and I want to join in on this joyous laughter that has got you in a fit.
Well,
it was great. Yeah.
At the very least, Michael B. Jordan and I have something in common. So we've got that.
Yeah, he shares your pain, you know. Well, he does. I think Chadwick said he had like either like awesome eyelashes or awesome eyebrows. Either one, you know, he got something going on, so it's fine.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
See, you got it. You got something going on. You're good, right?
Yeah, and I think I was told that also at a really young age. It made it weird for me, but some random lady came up to me. Wow, you've got really nice eyelashes. I'm like, okay, thank you.
See, there you go. Own it.
Yes.
Yes, but I was like 10, so what am I gonna do? What was I gonna do with that? Like blink at her?
You're like, thank you. Right.
Flutter my eyelashes?
You could have blinked at her. Yeah, you should have done that, actually. She would have loved that, probably.
Maybe she just wanted to touch it. And by that point, I mean, I didn't even know anything about touching black people's hair, let alone their eyelashes. So, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would have been weird.
Yeah, that would have been pretty weird.
Here we are now. So hopefully, I don't know if my eyelashes are still as... I don't know. What compliment do you give eyelashes? You have really nice eyelashes. I don't know if they're still that nice. I don't do anything to them. Just, you know, make sure they're not in my eye, most importantly. Oh, I never gave the weather for Sheboygan. I'm so sorry. So let me go jump back into that really quickly. How did I get distracted? Oh, right, because you called me fuzzy. That's right. I remember now.
And then Clarkeisha just kind of laughed in your face.
Because I can just throw fuzz. I can't get it together. Anyway, Sheboygan will be on Thursday, sunny with highs in the 40s, lows in around 24. On Friday, partly sunny with a high of 38 and a low of 28 degrees. And your weekend overall will be mostly sunny with highs in the 40s and lows in the 30s. And it doesn't look like you're going to have any rain until Tuesday and possibly around 50 degrees. So good for you, Sheboygan. All right, had to get that out. I don't know what it's going to be here. It's weird here, so I'm just going to say that.
Well, it's snow right now, right?
It should be snowing at this point. I do know it was really, really windy, and to the fact I wanted to warn you guys ahead of time. If I was here, that's because the power went out for like a hot second, but gotten quieter, so I'm not as concerned. So as I try to listen, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. So it was like howling, and there were a few snowflakes that were falling, but I keep the windows closed, so I don't know what's happening now. I just know it's dark outside. So that is the local weather report. It's dark outside. Can't tell you much more. And daylight savings time is still adjusting to that. Except the clock in my car.
Yeah.
Except the clock in my car, I did not change that, and it had been an hour fast for the last 6 months. And now I don't have to change it because it's already the correct time. So, point for me. That's the only clock that I have to change. All the other ones are all do it by themselves. So, there's that.
Good. It makes things easier.
It does. It does. But now we are going to take another break, and when we return, I do have a story I will share with you. And we'll be right back.
Shannon, CG, Lauren, and Mel form the Nerds of Prey. A group of ladies bonded by comics, gaming, film, television, and fandom culture. Hang out with them bi-weekly as they dig into the very things that make them loud and proud nerds. Available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. Also, check out their Patreon at patreon.com/Nerds of Prey.
welcome back to the New Podcast. We're here with Courtney and Quinta. How you both? How you both good? Still good?
Still good.
I'm good. I'm great. And tired, but I'm great.
Well, that's good. Other things that have been happening in the news recently, some people are still kind of mourning or getting used to letting go of a staple. And I don't know if it was a staple in either of your childhoods, but Toys R Us is closing. You guys have any
And it's
that?
millennials' fault, apparently.
Apparently, I did see that too. Larkeisha, is this devastating to you, or do you even care?
I mean, you know, nostalgia and all that, so I care a little bit. It's 50-50. Come, just like it's inevitable. Like I feel the same way I feel about Kodak. You know, Kodak, Blockbuster, these companies who just kind of refuse to adapt, kind of see where the market's going, where it's heading. Blockbuster for me was the most tragic because Netflix, I remember when you were getting the movies in the mail, like you had to actually like order them to your house and stuff. Like, Netflix did start out as a trillion, bajillion dollar, zillion dollar company. Blockbuster had time to kind of jump in and literally like buy out whatever they were doing and kind of scoffed at them and was shocked when they had to close. So, I always feel a way when companies don't adapt, they don't adapt, and then they're blame the new base, which would be millennials here. But even then, the story's not even that simple because we found out, at least I found out last week, that they were closing due in part to, vicious capitalist cycle in which, you get bought by someone. I guess in this case, I believe it was Bain Capital. I may be wrong, feel free to fact check me. But, Toys R Us got bought by them, and, as usually goes, they got a crap ton of debt dropped on their head, and, they had to close. I mean, tragic, but, yeah, like,
how it goes.
and not really my fault as a millennial. I'm sad that, people coming up won't have that luxury to go, I'm going to Toys R Us, or I'm going to Babies R Us to kind of go play around, but, yeah. This was what happens when you don't adapt, and B, when capitalism happens. So,
yep.
Way of the world. I at first did not have like a strong opinion or anything, but then I remembered for a couple months I actually did work for them during their seasonal time, and it was actually one of the only times in retail that I've worked like during the Christmas holiday season. It didn't suck. Surprise.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. It was, dare I say, no, I don't want to say it was enjoyable because it was still work, but it wasn't bad. Like I formed some temporary friendships because I definitely don't keep in contact with anybody that I worked with there. But it was fun while it lasted. And the only memento, actually, no, I have two mementos. I have my name tag, which is still in my car, and I bought a hat. I bought a hat that's like a snowman who's wearing a top hat. So this was like my first top hat, even though I don't really want to consider it one, but the snowman has a top hat, whatever. And I bought it, so I got to wear it while I was working, and we worked third shift, so it was like overnight, so people really didn't see us anyway. And it was like a real kind of silly hat, so it was fun. So flash forward, let's say 4 years, and I had already, I think by the time I left that job, because it was seasonal and they offered us to come back the next year, I'm good. I left a full-time job I was working in and eventually found myself at Amazon. So Amazon, what they were doing in the warehouse, they would have these kind of, I want to call them spirit days, where you would have to come in either like with a sports jersey or rep your favorite superhero or whatever. And I think your team gets points. I forget what happens, but if everybody comes in with whatever that theme was, you get points or pizza or something happens. I don't remember what it was. So sports day I did not participate in because I am just that kid that didn't have any sport affiliation. I'm still working on that. I'm supposed to be making a Blurs jersey. That's another story. Superhero day, I was good because I've got superhero stuff. I forgot what I did that day. It might have been Avengers. But then they had Silly Hat Day. So I'm like, okay, I can finally do Silly Hat Day because I've got a silly hat. And man, is my hat silly. And I was kind of glad that I did not walk in to like the front doors with my silly hat, because this particular day was the day that they decided to clean house, because I should have backed up a little bit. And when I say I was working for Amazon, I was a temp for Amazon. Again, I was hired on for seasonal help. So this particular day, people who were temps were not allowed in the building. Like, you would scan your badge and either the doors would open or they would not open. So I was one of those people where the doors did not open. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, this is not good. But there was a whole line of people, so I wasn't alone in this ordeal. I was just thankful that I left my silly hat in the car and I was not standing in line with the silly hat on, being fired, basically. So I still have fond memories of Toys R Us, but I still look at this hat and like, this hat, it's tied to that day, that fateful day where they decided to let us all go. But I'm so glad that I wasn't wearing it at the time, because I don't know, that would have been like insult to injury or something, like wearing this happy snowman hat and suddenly being unemployed. But hey, it's all good. I think I'm ready to wear it again. Just maybe not to work.
After all this time, you're ready to revisit the hat? Is that what I'm hearing?
I think so, yes. And I mean, I was going to say it's been in the same spot, but it was actually staying in my car for a few months because I was like, I don't want to look at you.
I get that.
Yeah, it was.
What is it, the visual memory?
It was. It hurt a little bit, but it's made it back into my room. It's on like I don't want to say a hat shelf, but it's back in its home, I guess. And I do have a proper top hat now, which I still try to figure out times to wear it. So far, it's been New Year's Eve and Halloween. So I don't really have any other places to wear it. The top hat proper, not the snowman top hat. Mm-hmm. And I think I will have to provide photographic evidence of what this hat looks like, so you can have a better visualization of what it might look like if you're fired wearing this hat. Not because of the hat, but like,
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
like
we need
Sterling,
that.
we're letting you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to need to put that in the show notes or something somewhere.
So I'll have to do that. I don't do selfies that often, but this will be one. It'll be for context reasons. So, and yeah, that is the snowman hat from Toys R Us. So I do have that memory, and I mean, I have other much happier memories of Toys R Us, and people surprised that I was even there. I'm like, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, what are you doing here? It was like, well, we're buying toys for kids. I'm like, oh, well, here's a toy. And learned a lot about kids too. Just like, there's so much more Pokemon stuff and Angry Bird stuff that I was not privy to. It was really amazing. And we did get to play with the toys a little bit, again, after hours. So not like anybody cared that we were, playing with them. So it was interesting. I almost bought a telescope, even though I live in a very wooded area, so I would not be very beneficial to me where I live. But still, like, I've always wanted a telescope.
And you got one.
The days.
Sometimes you just got to go for it, right?
Basically. So I wonder what the next store is to go down. I feel like it might be an electronics store.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to wish the downfall of any business. I don't think about it too much.
That is true. I don't mean to, sound grim or like you're going down Best Buy. No, not Best Buy. I don't mean that.
Ooh, you took that one back real quick.
Well, because I like walking in there and looking at stuff and then shopping for it on Amazon. But that's it's fun. I like to at least walk around and shop. And I'm not the only one that does that. I do know a friend of mine. I think we talked about it when we were walking around in IKEA, where we'd see things in there. Now, IKEA, I don't think they're going anywhere because they have a restaurant now, so they serve food. They have another means of getting money, and I think they bake cinnamon buns, which are okay.
That's the weirdest thing to me. The whole IKEA and I have a restaurant now. That's so weird.
Yeah, like. I mean, we went and we had, I think, either lunch or dinner at IKEA. And then we went to go look around for, like, end table.
Weird.
That was
weird.
You gotta diversify in this economy, man. So
that's true. We are talking about... Yeah, we are talking about the businesses adapting. So you're right. They're doing what they got to do to stay in business. And obviously we're talking about it, so that's something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is. Have you been to IKEA before, Clarkisa?
No, I have ordered stuff from them online and, cursed them and the gods as I had to assemble it, but,
I mean, those instructions, they weren't simple, like, easy to...
No, and, I always question myself, too, because, I went to college, so I'm just like, if I can't get this, then what's this degree for?
Then who's it for, right?
Right.
What was it all worth? What was it all for?
Right.
And now I have to ask, what was it that you ordered?
I believe it was some bed, like a bed frame and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was I put it together, whatever.
Did it beat you though?
For the first hour, it did. I was upset. And then I came back and said, "You're not going to defeat me," and then I defeated it. So
one.
I'm sure you put a valiant. I'm sure it's a valiant effort though.
It was.
It was a challenge. It was basically a challenge. It was a game, and you won. So yeah, good job. I think trying to remember this was a different time. Like the IKEA product was already purchased, and I think I was assisting in putting it together. And I don't even remember what it was. I feel like it was some kind of frame, not for like a bed, but just like a window or something. I don't know, but I do remember looking at instructions and the little man kind of pointing at like what to do and what not to do, or I don't even remember, but I guess it was eventually assembled, but probably not to my help at all. Like I don't think I've assisted much, but I guess it's not like the Lego instructions where they just show you where the parts go, and hopefully by the end of it you have whatever was supposed to be on the box. So good job. But hey, they have food and they sell meatballs for you to take home and cook the meatballs. Because I think they want to be a grocery store as well. I think that they do. But I'm not gonna...
Well, I wish them good luck because they're going to have to go up against Amazon.
They do.
Yeah, that's true.
They're taking over, and
Amazon trying to lock down all the markets right now. I'm just like, you can do it, but like, should you? Is the question.
Yes, that is a good question. Should you?
Yeah. I feel like that's what most of Hollywood should be asking themselves right now is, you can do this. There's nothing, in the code or whatever preventing you from doing this, but should you?
Right.
And that would save us all so much headache and eye rolls and all of that. It really would.
It would. I think, but with me being a loyal Amazon customer, anything that they roll out, I'm like, okay, I'll go with it because I'm already like knee deep in it.
You are a loyal fanboy for Amazon.
I am,
and I mean that with all due respect. But you are definitely an Amazon fanboy.
I mean that 2-day shipping, goodness. I mean you come back from that if you order from anybody else and it's like, oh, it'll be there in about a week and a half. I'm like, really? Let me see if Amazon got this because I don't know if I could be waiting that long. because I'm spoiled. Amazon.
True. Yeah.
I'm here for them, and then with the content that they serve, it's not as really up there quite with Netflix, but I mean they offer some good stuff. The Tick is a good show.
Yeah, they do.
So I know because they've got some content. It's not up to par maybe with Netflix, but it's up there. It's something to watch. Oh, they have Psych. They have Psych now, so I'm happy with that. One of my shows.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we will take one more break, and then when we return, we'll just kind of wrap up and close out. So we will be right back.
The Indie Podcast.
Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Victor.
And this is Megashine. Megashine is a queer, people of color weekly podcast, and we talk about anything from drag to comics to video games to
boys
and anything else in between. So if you want to listen to us, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud, and you can follow us on Megashine Pod and Megashine on Twitter.
That's right. So follow us, talk to us. We'll be here.
And we out.
Hey there, friend. Enjoying this podcast production? I bet your sweet buttery face you are. I bet you're also thinking, how can I support this show and look awesome doing it? Aside from telling your best pal and all their kin, you can head over to Indoob.com, and 2 clicks later, after hitting the store tab, you'll find yourself with several fun and fancy swag brought to you by the fine folks at the Indoob Network and TeePublic. If you're a fan of Indoob, Food Fight, or anything under the Indoobian sun, you can find it plastered on mugs, hoodies, pillows, cases, bags, and of course, t-shirts. Hurry on over now, and you may catch a sale with all tees 30% off. Seriously, they have sales like every other week. So head on over to Indoob.com or TeePublic.com. That's TeePublic.com and type Indoob in the search bar and continue to pod with the best.
And welcome back to the Indoob Podcast. First of all, I just want to thank you all so much for listening and taking time to hang out with us. I guess we'll go around with shout outs and such. Clarkeisha, do you have anything you want to people to follow you, or things that are coming out that you want to people to read? Because you have a lot of stuff for people to read. Any shout outs?
Shout out. I mean,
she's singing
definitely
again.
Check out my. You said what?
Said you're singing again.
Probably just to check out my podcast again. Still it's still rough, but we're trying to get to a certain space, certain sound.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast is at We Robbed a Zoo. Obviously follow me on Twitter. I might be doing things, writing things. It kind of depends on the day. My Twitter handle is at iWriteAllDay_. Oh yes, the Ken test, that was the thing I was recently working on. Still working on it, still work in progress. I may be amending it soon. I don't know. My goal actually is I want to go back and kind of rewatch all my favorite movies and see where they would fall on the scale that I established. I feel like I'm going to be vastly disappointed, but you know what? Might as well, for science and whatever.
And I'll just interrupt you for a hot second, because I realized I forgot to even bring it up to what the Kent test is. So if you could explain to us what that is, what the Kent test is.
Yes. I should have had it pulled up on my computer, but just remember it offhand, because it's in my head too.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I don't want to say litmus test, but it is basically kind of like a measuring test, for media, especially media, various facets of media, to kind of figure out or gauge where they are in terms of, good representation for women of color or abysmal representation for women of color. I did make it amendable so that, like, if you are part of a a different, maybe a slightly different martial arts class, you can use it too. And then again, it's not like, other tests like the Bechdel test is what really kind of inspired it for me, where like it's more pass or fail. No, you can't really fail it, but it will tell you if your like media is doing like a pretty like job, at it. So literally from the scale, it goes from 1 to 8. And then 0 to 8. So 0 would be abysmal, and I think 8 was I think it was excellent, something like that, something awesome, obviously. But yeah, it's on a scale, not pass or fail, but if you get a 0, basically like get out of my face.
Definitely.
Like, get out of my face. So yeah, yeah.
All right. And I'm remembering it now, and I'm thinking, I think one of my favorite movies probably is a fail. Even though you just said there was no pass or fail, but I don't think there are any women of color. I don't think there's even... Okay, there is. I'm thinking of Ocean's 11, and I think the only woman in that movie is Julia Roberts. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Not going to work. All right. Well, thank you for explaining what that was, because I definitely forgot to ask you about that earlier. So yeah, and that's somewhere that can be found. I guess, will you have a link or something?
I do have a link. It is actually currently pinned on my page on Twitter, but it has found its home because it's a project I did in conjunction with Miss Blair Imani and Equality for Her. It's on their website, actually. Like, it was actually part of an entire curriculum called Representation Media. So like that's actually only one part of it. There was a crossword puzzle. There's a long list of terminology. There's a table of like people that I recommended following, like on different social media platforms. There was a discussion guide. Like, it's actually part of a very extensive guide that I came up with. But yeah, that's where you can find it. We're trying to streamline it because right now it's in PDF form, but we're trying to streamline it to maybe where we can like actually put it on the web, like on the website, so people can look at the test without having to download the PDF. But yes, it is currently on Equality for Her website, which would be equalityforher.org.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Nice.
I remember looking at it, just thinking of like other movies and things that how it rated on that scale. So it was very interesting. So thank you for all the hard work that you do, because you do a lot of work, a lot of writing. So it's appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
And Courtney, do you have any shout outs or plugs and things of that nature?
I do. You can find me tweeting up a storm about anything from feminism to a little bit of pop culture to food prep to you name it over at Twitter. My handle is IamKHinton. You can also find me over at VerveHC, also on Twitter. That is the Twitter headquarters of Verve House Collective, which is a safe place for audacious creatives, entrepreneurs, and intention seekers. So there's lots of resources there at the Twitter site for Verve, as well as the website, which is vervehousecollective.com. So check me out.
Will do.
Yeah.
But that does it for another episode of this Indube episode. Follow me on all things at Indube, and go to Indube.com to find the Patreon, to subscribe for more perks, find my TeePublic store to get t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more. Please rate, comment, and share the pod on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you so much for supporting, listening, stopping by, and pressing play. Tell someone you value that you value them. Live for the folks you love. Do stick around, because I have a new outro that I recorded. So, I mean, Bilford's still around, but I decided just to record it for something new. So there you go. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
The Indube Podcast is recorded in a studio somewhere on planet Earth. The Indube Podcast is part of the Indube Network, and if you'd like to get in contact with the Indube Podcast, please email indubepod@gmail.com. That is indubepod@gmail.com. You can find the Indube Podcast on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course Podbean, or wherever podcasts may be procured. If you'd like to find out more information, please visit indube.com, where you can find our store, the blog, and of course our Patreon, if you'd like to support and donate and find more perks and fun things to listen to and watch. For Chief, DJ Joe Daddy, Bilford, this is T. Sterling Watson signing off. Thank you so much for listening.
Use your words, Chief. Good boy.
This has been another 3SFX production.